Hi there. This is H. Victoria Hogro Atkerson. I'm an author and a writer, and I like to say hello to everyone and apologize for not being here for the past 2 to 3 months. My husband of 49 years was very ill, and he recently died. So I was doing personal care, going back and forth to the hospital, and then when he died, we had to do what people do when loved ones die. We had to take care of all the arrangements and make sure everything was okay. So we got through it, and the family got through it. All the grandchildren, my son, everyone, great grandchildren, we all enjoyed the company of a fabulous family. My family came from Virginia, New York, and Atlanta. And we were blessed with droves of people who came in to give us support. I can't tell you how special that was and how amazing it was to have that kind of support. It made you stronger, and it also made you aware that the only thing that counts in this world is the way we love each other. So for that, I am extremely, extremely grateful. It was a very difficult time, but it was also a very comforting time to have people around you who loved you and people who loved my husband. It was an amazing thing. Because of him, I now have this career in writing and publishing books. He loved books, and he loved the stories that I wrote. Although he was unaware for years that I was writing secretly on my computer because I was just doing it to pass the time away when I wasn't working on my travel business. But when he found out he was like, you have to get these stories published, and you got to get them published now. So I did. And the first one we published was, I think it was Stones Along the Path. But the first one he read and loved was Walking Among the Kudzu. He was like thrilled of that with that character, Mom Moses. It was like delighted with it. So from that moment on, from the moment he found out I was writing, he was like on me like a banshee. I mean, it was really an amazing time. I thank him for pushing me in that direction because I find a lot of satisfaction, especially now since I don't have him here with me. And it's been quite an adjustment getting to know my new life, my new space, the person that I am now, because we were together 49 years. So it takes a lot of time to get adjusted to this new lifestyle. And even to be in this house without him is really strange. So we will be talking about death and dying and bereavement and that whole process. I'm sure at some point I'm going to put in a story as some writing that I do because it was such a phenomenal thing, and it was also a very interesting process. It wasn't as scary as I thought it was going to be. As a matter of fact, it was toward the end. It was wonderful. So I really appreciate that. And I appreciate him because he was so brave in the way he handled his death and the way he prepared us all. In the beginning, I was devastated. I can't tell you I wasn't. I was devastated. And my sisters were wonderful. And my brothers were very kind because they were able to relate to that situation. And they gave me a lot of support. So thank God for family, guys. Thank God. I mean, it's just amazing. So I'm back. I will be broadcasting probably Monday through Friday. And we'll talk about writing and our books. But I just wanted to just touch base and just restart our connection by telling you what was going on in my life. And this is it. I have a new life to live without my husband, who was a very passionate, romantic man. And I thank God for him because he gave me this wonderful career, and I now enjoy. So because of him, we have wonderful books. And I have to show you those books right now because he wouldn't like it if I didn't. So the first book I published is this one, Stones Along the Path. And we have part 1 and we have part 2. So these are really great books that he loved, and these are my favorites, to tell you the truth. I love that story because it's a place I always wanted to go to and haven't been there yet, and I do plan to get there one day. But this story is wonderful. I love it. And this book here is the first one my husband ever read and felt that I indeed had to publish. So this is a really great story about adolescence and the little child that's you can see it here. Who's here? She looks white, but she's definitely black, and her story is amazing. So you need to, if you haven't read that, please do, because it's a wonderful story that you really uh, will love, and you will enjoy. Now, the one that created a lot of excitement for all of us was this one. This is put them at bottom. Two characters out of this story were in Walking Among the Kudzu, and my brother, Larry Wright, read Kudzu, and he said, there are two characters in here I want to know more about. And I was like, well, who is that? Who could that be? And that was Mum Moses and the number writer. He insisted that I write a story about these people. And I was like, I don't even know how to do that. But after he badgered me for a while, I came up with this, and he loved it. My husband was thrilled because, of course, my husband was always the first person to read my books. I'm going to miss that because he was a part of the editing process and just the whole thing. So I miss him so much. And it was a wonderful thing. So the latest one is Enslaved. This one is I love because I'm a fan of history. All of my books are about romance and history, the Black experience in America and the world. This is a very good story, and I'm working on part two right now, and it's a little delayed because of my husband's illness and death, but I'm back on the case, and I will be finishing that book very soon. Look for it. It's a wonderful second part to this, because really the part one and part two were done at the same time, but part two, I really want to do some work on it, and to bring out some of the things that happened to blacks during the Civil War, which I think is very, very important. People do not realize our history and how deep that history goes. So that's one of the things I wanted to bring out in part two, and you will enjoy reading that when it comes up. So those are the books that my darling husband had read, and he has read all of my books, which are, I think I have 20 altogether. He has read all of them back to front, and we worked on them together. So I have to incorporate his mind, his mental strength, and his critiquing, because he was a great person to edit, because he didn't take any prisoners, and he did not mind telling you what was wrong with your books, or what the attitude, the logistics, the logic, all of those things were very important. He was a very critical thinker, and I appreciate him for that. So I think we're running a little bit over, but I wanted to say I'm back, I'm here, and let's walk forward, and let's explore writing and the life of a writer is what I really want to share with you, because sometimes it's very difficult to do this job. And it is important that you know that anything is possible if you just keep working at it. And it's a process, like anything else, like life itself. Like I'm going through bereavement now and mourning. It's a process, and I will share that with you as well. So you enjoy your holidays, and coming up, we are getting ready to decorate the house. And I don't know if you remember last year, this whole area was converted to a Santa Claus fantasy land. It will be the same way this year. So we'll be starting that process tomorrow. So probably by Monday, you'll be able to see some of the effects of the decorating. I'm sure it's going to continue throughout the season, because there's never enough time to decorate. But we'll be on the case. Thank you. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving, and love to you. God bless.